Good evening. You're watching Fine Print with me, Molly Gambhir. For 3 days now, protests have engulfed Pakistan. On Wednesday, the Pakistan Supreme Court overturned the death sentence handed to Christian woman Asia Bibi. She was accused of insulting the Prophet Muhammad after a quarrel with fellow farm laborers in 2009. Following the Wednesday's verdict, hardline protesters have laid siege to different parts of the country. The authorities in Lahore have finally begun cracking down on the protesters who have essentially been a part of the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Rasool Allah party. The action coming a day after Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan had also promised action against those who brought the country to a standstill. On Wednesday, the demonstrators had blocked major roads and called for the execution of top judges of the country. Government offices had to be shut down, security around the country's churches had to be tightened. The situation in Pakistan, after all of those hours, looking no different. 14 different religious parties, in fact, have called for a countrywide strike. Schools and colleges remained shut today. Mobile network was unavailable in Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi and Gujranwala. Meanwhile, terrorist Hafiz Saeed is all set to challenge the verdict of the top court. The Jamaat-ud-Dawa founder has said that if the government of Pakistan does not review Asia Bibi's acquittal, his party would file a petition in the country's Supreme Court against that verdict. Joining us for more on that is Ahmad Shaheen, senior journalist from Lahore. Ahmad, let me begin by asking you, it's been 72 hours of widespread violent protests in Pakistan. Scenes of high volatility have been witnessed in different arterial parts of the country. Let me begin also by asking for your reaction on the steps or the lack of action, rather, that the government has taken when it comes to these protests, when it comes to the government's failure in waking up to realize that this is a situation which is completely going out of control.
It is a repeat of what happened during the previous government when the current government was in opposition, and all they tried to do was change a couple of words having no practical implications on the blasphemy law. And the same Mullah Brigade, the extremists, the religious extremists, they went on the streets, took the whole country hostage, and that government, the PMLN government, could not do anything. And it was the military that had to negotiate with what seemed to be its own boys, and they were seen to be handing them money to go home and all of that. And at that time, the writ of the state was severely challenged, and it was criticized by the current Imran Khan government. But all the analysts said that as soon as Imran Khan's party comes into power, their own tactics are going to go against them. And this is exactly what is happening. There were rumors on the internet that the Imran Khan government might be taking some steps, not against just the people who are protesting, not against the protesters, but people who are hurting people, burning vehicles, and burning state facilities and all of that. And these are crimes against the common citizen of the country. And the videos, they're viral in Pakistan, that it's happening on the roads. All the roads are blocked. And yet the government says that they are talking to those extremists behind all these atrocities, but they're not talking to any victims. So if you are a citizen of this country and you get attacked by these goons, the government has nothing to do with it. And the government is still saying, they came out and said it's a rumor, we're not doing anything against them so far. They were very upset at the fact that the army chief and the chief justice and the judges and the prime minister himself, these sermons were released against them and are asking for their murder and asking for an uprising against them. So this is the current situation. They are facing music that they created in the last government, but everything is the same. Nobody is going to take any action against the criminals who are hurting the people of Pakistan in the name of killing a woman who drank water from a bucket.
And in the midst of all that, Ahmad, we have a globally designated terrorist showing his intention of challenging the Supreme Court's verdict, threatening the government, saying that if the government does not contest that verdict, the terrorist party will.
That is the thing with these extremists. They are more dedicated to their cause than the rest of everybody else combined. So when it comes to issues that they sell their politics on, for example, Hafiz Saeed and Khadim Rizvi and all the other people who call out for bloodshed and all the violence, and they not just call out for it, actually it culminates into violence as well and murders. Last time, policemen and civilians were murdered on the streets by these protesters. This time there are reports, there is kind of a curb on media where there are unverified reports that the people have been killed on the motorway, on the roads by these protesters, but the media is being very careful about reporting any of that. Even the Hafiz Saeed and Khadim Rizvi statements, all these terrorist statements, the media is not showing them as a restraint, but also not showing them because the media is not allowed to show them. So these terrorists, these extremists always band together on the one-point agenda that sells really well in Pakistan, Khatm-e-Nabuwat and blasphemy. So, and in a country like Pakistan, which has 98% Muslims, you would have to be crazy to blaspheme Pakistan because you don't even have to get to the court. You can be lynched in the street. So, and in Islamic jurisprudence, if you're crazy and you do blasphemy, you don't get punished for it. So, all these allegations are just so dumbfound everybody. And everybody was hoping that the government would take some kind of an action as it was rumored. But the government has now come out and said it's going to be a repeat telecast of what happened last time. No actions will be taken. Communication is barred, phones are barred, and streets, you can't go out. You can in your own little locality, but it's not safe to do that. You cannot travel. Schools are closed, offices closed, and they hijacked the country once again. And it's very disappointing as a citizen of Pakistan to see that they get to do it every time they want.
And Ahmad, time has clearly run out for warnings because we've seen a bunch of those coming in from first the Prime Minister, now the army. We have different leaders warning the protesters. Inadequate action, though, on the ground in terms of clamping down on those protesters who have taken the law into their own hands. And Imran Khan's own position, personally, when it comes to this issue has also, of course, been debated upon. Many are saying that he's facing the music from the very own people that he backed earlier on this very issue. And in the midst of this crisis that the country is facing, the country's financial mess for the Prime Minister is clearly more important because he's chosen to leave the country and visit China.
Yes, I mean, that's a convenient thing to do. But, I mean, what was he going to do in Pakistan? I don't think there is any government in Pakistan. When they were in opposition, they were saying all these things that can be done. The current opposition of Pakistan has told the government that they will not oppose any action against these extremists or terrorists. And they have the full backing. Bilawal, Pakistan People's Party chairperson, even said, "Kadam badhao, move forward, we're with you." So there was this widespread support when it seemed to a lot of people, innocent people, that the government might be willing to take some action. The Prime Minister's speech suggested that there will be actions, they will be reprimanded. But the situation is clear. If Imran Khan stays in Pakistan, then people will ask him why he's not taking any action. So he is not in Pakistan, he is in China.